Speaking of messy weather, many Houstonians have been financially burdened over the past couple of weeks dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. So we want to make sure you're still prepared for tax season, and experts say now is a good time to start. Joining me now live is financial expert Mark Steber with what you need to know to manage your money right now. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. Good to be here. It is an important time, both for the Olympics, the weather, and yes, your taxes.
Okay, obviously, you're absolutely correct. Obviously, we all should be keeping a close eye on our finances. For people who aren't, your thoughts, your suggestions to them.
Well, it's very simple. A lot of people think your taxes are a foregone conclusion, how they work out at tax time, whether you do them yourself or with your pro. But the reality is you have a lot more control over your taxes than many people think. And it starts with the fact that it's your largest single financial transaction this year and every year. Pay more attention to it. Do a mid-year checkup. Pay attention to those many tax breaks, including disaster deductions, other things that you can take if you're self-employed or an employee. And you can reduce your taxes. Maybe not $10,000 all at once, but $500 here, $1,000 there, over the next 30 or 40 or 50 years, that adds up. But it starts with paying attention to your taxes even now and doing as simple as something as a mid-year comparison with last year, double it up, see where you're going to be next January when you do your taxes and make adjustment. More withholding, keep better records, lower your withholding if you're getting a big refund and put more of that money in your pocket. But you have to take action. That's the important point.
Who do you recommend would benefit from reevaluating their money right now in this sort of mid-year plan you've laid out?
Everybody, high income, low income, no income, self-employed or an employee, everybody should take their June 30 income. For an employee, it's simple. Get your June 30 pay stub, look at it, multiply it by 2, assuming everything else is going to kind of be the same. And that should be about your income. Take your withholdings, take that June 30 amount, double that. I take my last year tax return and just go down the margin and put estimates on where I'll be at the end of this year, adjust for life changes and other things. Take the same tax rate that you used last year. That's not exactly correct, but it's close enough, and see where you are. And if you've got a big tax refund surprise, good or bad, now's the time, with about 158 days and 17 hours to go till tax time, to make adjustment. Adjust your withholding up to get a bigger refund, adjust it down to put more of that money in your pocket if you're in fact getting a big refund, and then see a tax pro just to make sure you haven't missed one of those tax changes, life changes, or other things that can impact your tax return hugely.
Mark, you mentioned that countdown. When is it too late to make those changes?
Oh, it's never too late. Okay. But the simple fact of the matter is, and this is a way with life, right now you have 158 days. If you've got another, say, 6 months or 5 months, twice a week or every 2 weeks you get a paycheck, that gives you another, 12 or 14 paychecks. Yeah. You put another $100 in through your withholding, that adds up really quickly. You wait till October, November, less time, less maneuverability. So the earlier you start with your projection, the earlier you start with what you think's going to happen, the earlier you can take action and have to, make small steps instead of big steps at the last minute, or goodness forbid on tax day having that refund shock, balance due disappointment, and then you have to make plans and you don't really have any latitude. So the earlier you start, the easier it is. The later you start, the less tools you have in your toolbox to adjust your taxes and get a bigger refund.
Really great information, wonderful insight. Mark Steber, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good to be here. Good luck.
We appreciate it.